Well, my friends, as Barack Obama's deeply held socialist agenda continues to collide with reality and the resulting unpleasant surprises, or at least surprises as far as the clueless demagogues of the Team Obama are concerned, it's beginning to look like the only asset this president has left is a general sense of personal likability from the American people. Now, moving quickly to destroy that one remaining asset with the speed and efficiency he is destroying the economy in general and the jobs-creating private sector in particular, the president's re-election campaign unveiled AttackWatch.com, a severe red and black Big Brother method for American citizens to report other American citizens to their government should they be foolish enough to commit the thought crime of saying or thinking double plus ungood things about dear leader. So let's bring in stalwarts Steve Green and Scott Ott to help us sing 99 bottles of beer on the wall as we ride the bus on the way to our re-education camps. Welcome, fellas. Now, needless to say, this Chicago-style intimidation, hey, nice looking free speech you got there. Be a shame if something happened to it. Well, it instantly terrified conservatives into abject silence, except for the unrepentant sinners over at Misfit Politics, who put out a helpful guide to how Attack Watch can protect dear leader from people like you and me.
Attack Watch, the newest campaign website to expose the right-wing lies about President Obama. Get the facts, fight the smears. AttackWatch.com is where you can report attacks on President Obama. If you heard an ad on the radio or television, if you saw a suspicious website, if you heard a friend spreading rumors, let us know. Attack Watch. Rick Perry lied about the stimulus. Sure, the unemployment rate has gone up as a whole, but come on, think of how many more jobs Obama has saved. Attack Watch. Stop asking how you can measure saved jobs. Attack Watch. It's not just Attack Watch, it's AttackWatch.com, because normal websites put their full URL in their homepage banners. Attack Watch. Mitt Romney blamed Obama for job losses that happened under President Bush because he's a giant racist. Attack Watch.
For a guy who's been complaining about conservative messaging, it's like watching my newborn son take his first steps. Steve, I've been watching politics for about 10 years now, and I've never been so proud of our team as I was watching the across-the-country response to Attack Watch. Why was this ridicule so effective?
Well, you know what? Here's the thing. I was all over Twitter last week on the Attack Watch hashtag. It was great. And it worked because it was merciless. It was immediate and it was funny. And best of all, it was totally uncoordinated. We didn't have to show up at a certain street corner with our identical T-shirts and our pre-printed signs and our identical box lunches. We just got online and we did this stuff. I'd never even heard of these guys who made this video. But on Twitter, we had some great ones, and I got a couple of them here for you. Scott Sweat, I don't know him, said, "I, for one, am honored to be recruited as an informer by our new insect overlords." And Madison Mom, somebody else I don't know, said, "I have to turn my husband in. He told my son there's only 50 states.
Oh, no.
And well, I'll throw one of mine in here because I can. Dear Attack Watch, just overheard short man in black coat threatening to kill moose and squirrel.
No.
Nothing can survive this. And Attack Watch has been mute for the last 5 days. There's been nothing on Twitter from it. Not a word.
Kill moose and squirrel? Scotty, you wrote a book that many people agree is the greatest piece of literature ever to come from the pen of mortal man, Laughing at Obama, Volume 1. And your early work, of course, at the legendary ScrappleFace.com, both of these use the power of satire and ridicule. How are these weapons so much more effective than, say, outrage and indignation in a case like this?
Well, there's a certain degree of swagger that comes with the ability to mock and snarkily go after them like this, to laugh in their faces. I mean,
yes,
outrage, anytime I see somebody who's reacting in anger, I always associate that with fear. They're really afraid, and so that they're kind of fighting back and screaming and yelling. But when you react with gentle humor, especially, and you just kind of laugh it off, you completely emasculate your opponent. You turn him into just this little pathetic, helpless thing. I mean, Steve Green nailed it. The entire Obama administration has turned into a hashtag.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, and we won't speculate what that hashtag's real name should be. Steve, the stated purpose of Attack Watch is to prevent the American people from trivializing the record of Barack Obama and using unfair free speech to attack him personally. Has this been a stimulus-level success on the part of myBarackObama.com?
Stimulus. You know, the good news, I guess, is Attack Watch. It couldn't have cost that much. You saw the website. It makes a MySpace fan page look like the Parthenon. And I have to tell you that this attempt by the White House to turn us all into informants on one another, well, it's not going to work. Oh, wait. Somebody's in. Who are you people? What?
I'm sorry to take. I didn't mean to correct him before he was pulled out to the camp. But when he said the attack on Washington, and he meant to say the attack on Washington. Steve Green hosts the Weekend Blogs and Hair of the Dog segments right here at your friendly neighborhood PJTV. Now, Scotty, there's only a narrow window, and I mean this, a narrow window, in which people can mock tyranny as it's being opposed upon them. After a while, if it takes root, it's not funny anymore. Now, this one took us a couple of hours, but putting aside the ham-fisted, un-American, laughing-stock execution of Attack Watch, the whole thing is a little chilling, isn't it?
Well, it certainly is, but I'm reminded of, even back during the late 1930s and into the 1940s, how vigorous the mockery of Hitler was in the United States.
Yes.
I mean, everybody wanted to do their little, hold a comb up under their nose and
Yes.
do a funny little, step, and they just viciously mocked him. I mean, this is, by the way, reminiscent of just a couple of years ago when I believe it was this administration that had the something fishy idea, that if you heard something fishy, you were supposed to email this special email address. In fact, if you just go to the PJTV.com website and type in silencing dissent or do it at YouTube, you will find that there's an app for that.
Yeah, there's an app for that, is right. The apps are going to save us in the end. I think Scott Ott's new series, Freedom Charter, takes you behind the scenes of the writing of the Constitution in a way that you've never seen before. It's coming very soon here at PJTV. And as for me, the very first thing I did when I heard about Attack Watch was to reach down and pick my jaw up off the floor. And the second thing I did was go over to attackwatch.com and report myself. Just seeing John Bolton there filled me with an overabundance of civic duty and, frankly, jealousy. And then I realized that those SEIU graphic designers must have a mountain of work in front of them, composing evil, scary red graphics of people I admire, so I made my own. We don't want to overwork those union people. You know what kind of cardio systems they have. And for you 100,000 or so progressive Americans who eagerly signed up to report thought crimes to Big Brother, let me thank you for validating the work that I do every day and giving me a reason to get out of bed in the morning. You often try to portray 1984 as some right-wing dystopia, but George Orwell had your number, and so do I. It's always you big state left-wingers, you communists, and you National Socialist German Workers' Party types that try to get what you can't get at the ballot box through bullying and intimidation. It's not going to happen, not here. And by the way, your time is almost up. You know how I know? It says so right here on my wristwatch. For the entire Trifecta team, I'm Bill Whittle.